Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Super Breakdown. Today we're talking about the Gabthley RX-110 Gabthley. It's a pretty good grunt suit from Zeta, currently being piloted by Mawa, but Jared can also pilot it. It's, it's a pretty good suit. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Most of its kit is built around range, but its melee is pretty decent. I missed that completely because I'm a dummy with it. What I really like about the Gabthley is that it's mainly built around the idea of like hit and run with most of its moves, and then it has a couple long-standing charge moves that do some pretty good damage if they hit. And you're not bad with them like I am. The Striker, however, is built around melee to give you some really nice setups that you can pull off, just like that. The Gabthley doesn't do a ton of damage, but it does enough that for the cost that it has, I feel like it definitely is balanced out enough. You know? If I could ever hit with that, you'd be able to see that that's probably the most damaging attack that it has. But the real fun for the Gabthley, in my opinion, is that you don't really get to see grunt suits that often that aren't like the GM or the Zaku. And the Gabthley is one of those like rare. Wow, come on, Camille, really? One of those rare grunt suits that really gets to do some cool stuff in this game. And I mean, in this game, it's not that big a deal, but in a lot of the Gundam Versus games, there aren't as many grunt suits as there are in this game, even though this game doesn't see some of the other suits that it should have, but you know. However, with all that said, I feel like the Gabthley is still definitely a contender when it comes to 300s that you might want to use. Its melee combos aren't the best, but they're fun. They do the job. I really like that spin, as you can tell. But the back melee combo is also not bad. It's kind of just a straight kick, but it does decent enough damage. And has a little bit of knockup. And then when you get into the burst, you get this fun little combo here that leads up into that finisher that you unfortunately didn't get to see all of because it killed Camille too quickly. But you know, it's fine. Camille could have lived just a little bit longer, but you know, it's fine. Yeah, I really like the Gabthley though. It's a really fun brawler with some ranged capabilities. The question comes now, with what the Gabthley has, are there other 300s that do that job just as well? And yeah, kind of. Specifically, there are a couple other 300s that have some better ranged options. But I would say, like for instance, the gun cannon is a little bit better at range and still does quite a bit of damage in melee. But I feel like for what the Gabthley has to offer, like it is still really solid. There's also something to be said for the fact that when you're playing as the Gabthley, you feel really fast. Like, you're not faster than everything else. Not really. But you feel really fast. And it's very satisfying to play as because of that. It also has, and we haven't talked about it much, but it has a mobile armor mode. And like the Masala, this mobile armor mode is extremely easy to use, which is nice. Trying to land the hit here, and I can't because Camille won't stay on the same level with me. But you have. Alright, Camille. Well, if we're just gonna be like that, then we'll just go out. Jerk. But the mobile armor is not as satisfying as some of the others, but it does still have the most important thing about a mobile armor in this game, in my opinion, which is the quick dodge. So as long as you can pull off that quick dodge, it will save your bacon in a lot of places that you may not have expected to be able to get out of. There's the charge shot I was trying to land in mobile armor mode. But at the same time, it still has the same problem that other mobile armors have, which is unless you're willing to go all the way to the ground while in mobile armor mode, you are not going to... You're not going to get back on the same level as your opponent if they drop into a dip. It's really a main problem on this map and not as much a lot of the others, but this Camille has been doing this to me all session recording, and it's really getting on my nerves. Because real players are a little bit more aggressive than this Camille. Just so you know. Just in case you were curious, just thought you might want to know, Camille. Alright, let's see if we can show off that burst now that he's got a little bit more health. Alright, thank you, sir. Yes, there it is. You work together with Jared Mesa to be able to get the hit on Camille, which is something you know he would love to do. Okay, Camille, if you could play along here so I could show off some stuff, that'd be great. Should you use the Gabthley? That is the eternal question, right? Should you use the Gabthley? Yeah, I think you should give it a shot. The Gabthley's a lot of fun. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I enjoy it quite a bit. And, alright, Camille, we just need to... Camille! Alright, come here. There we go. If you like suits that have a lot of options for range, the Gabthley is definitely a fun one to use. With the Masala also being an option, or some of the faster Zakus being options, or some of the other 300s that are available in the game, and even some of the 200s that are available in the game. I don't think the Gabthley is a perfect choice, but I think it's definitely something to play around with, see if you like the feel. And the mix that it has of being a decent brawler with some good long-range support is definitely worth checking out, in my opinion. With all that said, this has been The Full Spectrum. I've been Trey. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that the Gabthley has to offer.